What if I told you the next recession is already scheduled? Not on a calendar, but by history itself? Not if, when. 14 times, Warren Buffett has watched the economy fall apart. 14 times, fear flooded the system. 14 times, people swore this one was different. And 14 times, they were wrong. Because recessions are not accidents. They're not surprises. They're cycles. And if you understand the cycle, you don't hide from it. You position yourself inside it. This is not motivation. This is not optimism. This is a briefing on how Buffett prepares before the damage begins. The first truth, you cannot stop the cycle, is the economy moves like a tide. Expansion, contraction, boom, bust. You cannot vote away. You cannot regulate it out of existence. You cannot outsmart it with headlines or forecasts. Buffett understood this early. Recessions are not abnormalities. They're structural resets. And every reset transfers wealth from the unprepared to the prepared. Most people get this backwards. They think recessions are defensive periods. Times to freeze. Times to retreat. Buffett learned the opposite. Recessions are when fortunes are made. Not lost. Made. But only if you've already done the work before the panic begins. In 2008, the financial system cracked. Banks failed. Jobs vanished. Homes were erased from balance sheets overnight. Every screen screamed disaster. Smart investors fled. Institutions collapsed. Liquidity disappeared. And right in the center of the chaos, Buffett did something that looked insane. He went public. October 2008. New York Times. Buy American. I am. People laughed. They mocked him. They called him reckless. But Buffett wasn't watching the headlines. He was watching fear. And fear, to him, has always been a signal. Be fearful when others are greedy. Be greedy when others are fearful. While capital was running for safety, Buffett deployed billions. Goldman Sachs, General Electric, Dow Chemical, Swiss Re, not because he was smarter, but because he recognized the sale disguised as a catastrophe. And those purchases didn't just recover, they multiplied. That is the core Buffett code. Imagine this. You love a store. You trust the brand. You buy there regularly. Then one day, everything is 60% off. Do you panic and leave the store? Or do you buy more? In normal life, the answer is obvious. But in markets, people do the opposite. When prices fall, they assume value disappeared. Buffett learned early. Price and value are not the same thing. Recessions don't destroy good businesses. They discount them. And discounts are only dangerous if you're forced to sell. Which brings us to the first pillar of Buffett's strategy. Pillar 1. Cash is not trash, it's ammunition. In normal times, Buffett wants money invested. Cash loses value to inflation. But recessions are not normal times. Recessions are moments when assets collapse temporarily. And if you don't have cash, you can't act. Cash is not for returns. Cash is for optionality. Buffett calls it dry powder. When prices fall, stocks fall, real estate falls, entire industries go on sale. If all your money is already deployed, you're a spectator. If you have cash, you're a buyer. That's why Berkshire Hathaway has carried massive cash balances for decades. Often criticized, often misunderstood. Buffett wasn't lazy. He was patient. He was waiting for the sale. Minimum rule: 6 months of expenses in cash. But beyond survival cash, you need strategic cash. Money you don't need. Money you can deploy without emotion. That's what allowed Buffett to move in 2008 while others froze. Pillar 2. Decide what to buy before fear takes over. During recessions, logic collapses. People don't think. They react. So Buffett never decides during a recession. He decides before it. He prepares a shopping list. Not cheap junk. Of elite businesses he already understands. Because a bad business at a cheap price is still a bad business. Buffett wants strong brands, durable demand, competitive advantages, businesses that survive storms. He studies them when markets are calm. He values them rationally. So when prices collapse, there's no debate, only execution. In 1963, American Express stock collapsed. The media declared it toxic. Buffett looked past the scandal. The brand was intact. Customers still trusted the card. The core business was untouched. So he did something radical. He put 40% of his partnership's capital into American Express. While the stock was falling, people thought he'd lost his mind. That single decision compounded for decades. Why? Because Buffett trusted analysis over emotion. That discipline must be trained before the crisis. Pillar 3. Never use leverage, ever. This rule has no exceptions. Borrowed money turns volatility into annihilation. Leverage feels smart in rising markets. It feels harmless until prices fall. Then lenders don't care about your conviction. They demand cash. Margin calls for selling. At the exact bottom, Buffett has never used leverage personally. Berkshire barely uses it institutionally because leverage doesn't just reduce returns. It ends games. Long-term capital management learned this in 1998. Nobel Prize winners. Advanced models. Massive leverage. One crisis, and they nearly collapsed the global system. Smart people failed because leverage removes survival. And without survival, compounding is impossible. Rule is simple. No borrowed money. Only invest capital you won't need for years. That way, when prices fall, you wait, and the recovery always comes. Pillar 4. Real diversification isn't quantity, it's understanding. Owning 500 stocks is not diversification. It's ignorance spread thin. Buffett prefers concentration in understood excellence. 10 to 15 businesses, different industries, different economic drivers, banks, consumer staples, utilities, insurance, infrastructure. Why? Because recessions don't hit everything equally. People stop buying luxury goods. They don't stop buying toothpaste. In 2008, while financials collapsed, Coca-Cola kept selling drinks. Procter & Gamble kept paying dividends. Johnson & Johnson kept generating cash. That stability gives confidence. Confidence allows action. Pillar 5. Balance sheets decide survival. In recessions, income falls. Debt remains. Companies with weak balance sheets disappear. Buffett always checks. Debt levels. Cash reserves. Ability to survive revenue drops. If a company can't handle a 30% decline, it doesn't qualify. Recessions don't wound weak companies. They erase them. Strong companies absorb competitors. They emerge with more power. 2008 proved this in banking. Some banks failed completely. Others, like JP Morgan, survived and dominated. Same industry, different balance sheets. That's the difference between zero and dominance. Pillar 6. Think in decades, not headlines. Recessions feel permanent. They are not. The U.S. economy has grown for over 200 years. Through wars, depressions, crises. Long-term trend, upward. Buffett thinks like a farmer. If drought hits, you don't sell good land. You wait. Stocks are not symbols. They are ownership stakes in businesses. Temporary pain does not erase long-term value. Coca-Cola, bought in 1988. Through tech bubble, financial crisis, pandemic, never sold. Time did the work. Pillar 7. Live below your means, always. This is not lifestyle advice. It's strategic positioning. If you spend everything you earn, you have no flexibility. One shock breaks you. Buffett has lived in the same house since 1958. Not because he can't afford more, but because excess doesn't buy security. Security comes from margin. Margin comes from restraint. Lifestyle inflation is the silent killer. Income rises. Spending rises faster. High earners end up fragile. Buffett's rule. Live like you earn half. Invest the rest. That's how recessions stop being threats. Pillar 8. Control information intake. The media profits from panic. During recessions, headlines distort reality. Buffett stays informed, but emotionally detached. He focuses on earnings, cash flow, competitive position, not talking heads. .com bubble proved this. Buffett ignored hype, avoided speculation. When the crash came, he was untouched. Noise creates narratives. Narratives destroy discipline. Pillar 9. Price is what you pay. Value is what you get. Recessions create gaps. Price collapses faster than value. That gap is opportunity. A business earning $10 million annually doesn't lose its economics overnight, but stock price might. When price disconnects from value, Buffett steps in. This is value investing in its purest form. And recessions widen that gap more than any other event. Pillar 10. Don't time the bottom. Position into fear. Perfect timing is a myth. Buffett doesn't wait for bottoms. He buys when conditions are clearly bad, then buys more if prices fall. Averaging into fear. Perfection delays action. Discipline compounds results. Pillar 11. Learn the patterns of history. Every recession differs, but principles repeat. Some are deflationary, some inflationary, some are credit crises, some demand shocks. But in every one, strong businesses survive. Prepared investors win. Panic destroys wealth. History doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. Pillar 12. Courage is the final filter. Most people fail here. They know the rules. They have the cash. They freeze. Fear feels rational in the moment. Buffett trains courage before the storm. He visualizes panic. He rehearses discipline. So when fear arrives, it's familiar. Courage is not emotion. It's preparation. Pillar 13. Patience is the edge. Recovery is slow, messy, uncomfortable. Markets test conviction. Buffett plants acorns. He doesn't dig them up weekly. Time rewards patience. Always has. So what's the POV? Recessions are coming. You don't control the timing. You control the preparation. You can panic, or you can position. Cash, quality, discipline, patience. This is not theory. This is Buffett's playbook, tested across 14 collapses. Most people will watch the next recession. A few will use it. The difference is preparation. And now, you've seen the blueprint.